Hiya, and welcome back to Tennis Ace. The game that teaches us that, shit, I had something planned out and I forgot it. Um, the game that teaches us that, hmm, hmm, that, hmm, that you should never put toast in a bag because then your bread will get soggy. That is all I can think of. Hiya. Anyways, let's hop right in. Ah! Okay. Before I can even consciously make a choice, I feel as if my legs are working on their own, dragging me towards the origin of this music. Hiya. It's as if the piano is calling out to me. I want to listen from up close. No, I need to listen from up close. Hang on, let me just create like a save file. Shit, did it like... Shit. Did it like... Fucking... Fuck. The UI froze. Hang on. We can fix this real quick. We can fix this, and I think I just did. we just gotta wait a little bit. Yeah, it's because I tried to go back, and it did a thing. And there we go, we're in. Okay, I'm gonna duplicate this save. I'm gonna duplicate it, and then load. Before I can even consciously make a choice, I feel as if my legs are working on their own, dragging me towards the origin of this music. It's as if the piano is calling out to me. I want to listen from up close. No, I need to listen from up close. But who could be playing this? The Classical Music Club has been disbanded a few years ago. All that's left is an old room with some dusty instruments. Maybe it's a teacher? Or a freshman? No, wait. Club activities haven't started yet, so there's no way they'd allow a freshman to be using the club room already. Before I notice it, I'm already at the door. That was really close. I nearly walked in without thinking. How could that person even react to it? How would that person even react to it? What would I even say? Sorry I barged into the room, but could you keep playing the piano for me? But then again, this does sound really good. Crap. I'm just going around in circles with this logic. Screw it. I'll just sneak in. The piano is so loud they might not even notice it in the first place. I slide the door open as gently as I can. I peek curiously into the room, looking around for the source of the music. And that's when I see him. Oh? A boy sitting in front of the piano, his figure bathed by the orange rays of the sun that are coming in from the nearby window. He walks back and forth to the rhythm of the music, his fingers dancing above the keys in a flurry of strokes that are too fast even for me to properly track. The entire time, this pleased smile is plastered across his face, never faltering for even a second. And speaking of which, are his eyes closed? How can someone even play a piano without looking at it? How can that even be possible? Droplets of sweat drip down his face, but his expression doesn't falter for even a second. Damn, this guy's intense. His fur, an intense fiery orange when tinted by the evening sun's rays, sways gently from side to side with each and every movement of his body. I can feel the music slowly enveloping me, almost as if it were really calling me. It's telling me to come closer. reading the chat at the same time. I can't take my eyes off of his performance. I can feel his music echoing deep inside of me. I don't even know what I'm doing, but I want to feel more of it. I feel a tightness in my chest, as if I might suffocate, and yet it's not unpleasant at all. It's like the countless waves are crashing against my body. Everything is blurry. Everything else is blurry, muddled. The boy and his piano are the only thing in focus. They're the only thing that feels real right now. The closer I get, the harder it is to keep my thoughts in order. I can't even notice whether my legs are moving or not, but it's still a fact that I'm approaching him. Nothing else feels important right now, so I ignore everything else and just focus on his piano. The piano. Then, as if the spell was broken, I'm jolted back to reality by the pain shooting up my leg. It seems that in my days, I need one of the tables by accident. It freaking hurts. Son of a... Oh, wait, the piano stopped? I look back to the piano and... that face. The tiger is holding onto the piano, trying to keep himself from falling from his chair? Wait, he fell backwards from his chair? Hiya. Whoa. He gets back up on his knees, bringing a hand to his head and rubbing it painfully. Ow. Oh god, I really hope he didn't hit his head. Are you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. Before I can run over to him, the boy manages to get himself back on the chair, proceeding to get up and turn to me. The boy looks away from me, his whole face turning red. His tail lashes nervously behind him, like a cornered, frightened cat. I don't know. I don't know. God, I really did a number on him, huh? Sorry about that. I didn't mean to scare you. I just, The boy relaxes, if only slightly. He crosses his arm and sits upright on the chair. The conversation is... Sorry, I didn't know that there were still other students around. Can I help you with something? Oh, no, sorry for staring. Sorry, I'm like reading the chat right now. Like a baker. I don't think I've ever seen him before, and I know for a fact that most freshmen wouldn't be in this building today unless they had some business in the faculty office. Did he just wander in here and got into this club room? No, but it would be kept locked in the first place. There's no way he'd have been able to get in. He also doesn't really strike me as a freshman. He doesn't have that innocent, hopeful spark that you see in the eyes of most freshmen. I'm sorry to ask so suddenly, but are you a freshman here? Because you certainly don't look like it. The boy blinks a few times, cocking his head to the side. Then, as he looks down at his own uniform, he seems to understand my question. No, I mean, I'm new here, but I just transferred to the school today. I'm actually a senior. I had a few problems at home this morning and ended up not... I couldn't even keep up with that. I get it. Slow down. I'm sorry. Was I talking too fast again? Again? Is this a common occurrence for him? Still, he talks so fast that I can't even keep up with what he's saying. He's kind of giving me a headache. He definitely looks like the high energy type. No, that's not even the weirdest thing. How can you say so much about yourself to someone you've only just met? Wait, is he still talking? Crap, I've been so caught up in my own thoughts that I wasn't paying attention. Not really good. I'm going to need a fucking SSD upgrade to even begin to comprehend that. I'm running at like 500 gigabytes. And it's filled with the entirety of whatever. Can't remember. It's... Ah! Oh shit, what just updated? Like, I can sort of read it alongside how it goes, but I can't, like, read it out loud. I can read it in my head. It was really out of tune, though, so it took me some time to get it up and running again. The boy strokes the keys of the piano, smiling gently at them. The piano seems to calm him down a bit, and I have to admit, he has a beautiful smile when he lets his guard down. Oh, okay. Wait, isn't he relaxing a bit too much? He completely forgot that I'm here. He's just fawning over the piano right now. Ah! He certainly is energetic, I'll give him that. Did you say you just got here after today's classes ended? Yeah, I did. Why? Well, it's just... I point towards the clock right above the whiteboard. It's already 15 past 6. Eh? He looks towards the direction I am pointing, slowly, almost like clockwork. I swear, I can almost hear the clicking sounds as his head turns. Once he sees the clock, he freezes. This guy's too much. How did he not notice time passing? This guy's completely orange, for God's sake. No way! I didn't even get to find my classroom yet! What am I going to do? At this point, it's clear as day that he's panicking. And I'm probably a horrible person because watching him acting this way is incredibly funny. Maybe I could do something nice for him and show him around? It's not like he's a bad guy, just a little rough around the edges. But then again, I'm not exactly fond of the idea of hanging out with someone I don't know. Okay, I guess we're doing this. Well, I suppose I'm free right now. I can show you around some of the more important areas of school if you'd like. I do feel bad for scaring him like that when I came in. Poor guy almost had a heart attack. I remember Shoichi telling me a while ago that I'm always too unfriendly with new people, so I try my best to sound warm and kind. It feels refreshing somehow. Okay, I guess we're doing this route first. It's been a while since I've legitimately tried to be friendly to someone new. Really? Really? His eyes go so wide that I can barely even make out the color of his irises now. This guy has such drastic shifts in emotion that it's starting to give me whiplash. Sure, we'd have to be quick though. They'll close things up in about an hour. Could you just tell me what classroom you were assigned to? It was classroom 3B. 3B? Then that means... Okay, I guess we're doing Shoichi last. Oh, it's the same as me. He smiles from ear to ear, his eyes nearly twinkling with excitement. Really? That makes everything a lot easier. Oh, by the way, my dad told me something about the school having special classes for seniors. Can you tell me what that is about? Special classes? You mean college prep? If so, then it's just a specific class where they give students some extra classes to prepare them for entrance exams. So the best students get special treatment? Isn't that kind of unfair? Not really. You're allowed to move up to that class up until the last month of class, so really anyone can join it as long as they work hard enough. That's not true. I mean, even if I studied 25 hours a day, I'd still never place in the top 50. What? How much do you usually score in your tests? I've never had more than 50 in any test I've ever taken. What? Is this for real? You need an 80-point average to graduate, you know. He freezes yet again. Even his tail is completely frozen mid-motion. How is he doing that? Eh? And there he goes again. No, wait. What am I going to do now? No one told me this when I applied to this school. How did you even pass the transfer exam anyway? Heard it's harder than our midterms. I didn't have to take one. They took me in for the music program. In other words, kind of like a scholarship? Well, I suppose if they've allowed you in without testing you, they might just lower the passing score for you. At least I hope they do. This guy's seriously hopeless if they don't. As that's so. Whew, you really had me worried just now. Completely back to normal already? Anyway, I'm Jun. Jun Kobayashi. Pleased to meet you. I hesitate for a second when he extends his hand towards me. This guy's completely throwing me off my pace. As soon as I grab his hand, he starts shaking my hand. Excitedly. Actually, maybe too much excitement. Way too much excitement! Alright, that's enough for now, okay? He looks completely clueless as I pull my hand away from his death grip. Jeez, this guy isn't normal by any definition of the word. I'm Yoichi Michimiya. It's nice to meet you too. Yoichi Michimiya, huh? It's a wonderful name. I really like it. Oh, well, thank you, I guess. Yeah, thank you. Anyway, if you don't mind, we should probably get going already. It's starting to get late. Oh, right, I forgot. He dives behind the piano and picks up his bag. There are books and papers falling off of it. This guy really looks like the messy type. Nothing out of the ordinary with the bag itself, though. The owner apparently makes up for the bag's plainness. Shall we? We leave the music room and I start showing him around the school. Wow. This school's really big. We haven't even seen everything and my legs are already trembling from all the walking. I think that's more to do with you being out of shape and less to do with the school's size. I should probably hold off on saying something that tactless. Hey, Michimiya-san. What about the other side of the locker room? The other side? He's looking at the door to the volleyball courts. Oh no. I haven't seen that sound, I don't think I... Wait, should I even let him go there in the first place? When I took him to the tennis court, he just kept walking around like a kid in an amusement park, shouting things like, "So this is what a tennis court looks like," and "It's so amazing!" He even took a few pictures. God knows what those are about. That's for the volleyball courts. I don't think I'm allowed to take you there, though. I'm not a member of that club. What about the tennis courts? Did you have permission to take me there? I think the big tennis bag I'm carrying with me should have been enough to tell him I'm a member, but this guy is apparently very dense. Huh? Well, I'm a member. Shouldn't the clothes in the tennis bag I carry around have tipped you off to that? Wow, really? I've never really watched a match live, but it looks like an awesome sport. I don't know any rules, though. God, too much. This guy's too much. He has way too much gas in his tank. I don't know how to deal with people like that. Yoichi? Just as I hear a voice calling out to me, Shoichi's head peeks out from behind a couple of lockers. As soon as he notices me, he smiles and walks up to us. He's completely covered in sweat. His clothes look like they've been submerged in water. What are you doing here? I thought you had left already. He finally notices Kobayashi, who seems to have tried to hide behind me. Who's this? A new club member? Kobayashi's entire body goes stiff as he steps out from behind me. All of his motions have suddenly turned mechanic. I'm Jun Kobayashi. It's a pleasure to meet you. For some reason, he sounds even more nervous around Shoichi than he was with me. Shoichi studies him for a few seconds, looking incredibly interested in him. Kobayashi, huh? If I'm not mistaken, you're the student I was asked to accompany today. Me? Kobayashi looks to be in shock, taking a step back and nearly choking on his own words. To be honest, even I'm a little bit surprised. Shoichi was asked to meet a new student? What for? You know about me? Yeah, one of the teachers was supposed to show you around school today, but she called in sick. Since I'm the student council president, I was asked to do it in her stead, but... You never showed up. Almost as if you were stabbed by an invisible arrow, Kobayashi's entire body shivers at Shoichi's merciless words. And here I waited for almost an hour, losing my first class of the day because you didn't show up. Another invisible arrow. You know, I really wish people would call beforehand if they happen to be late for something. It's not like everyone has infinite free time like some people, right? Kobayashi slumps his shoulder in defeat, mumbling a few incoherent apologies. The fact that Shoichi could say all of that with that smile on his face, though. This is scary, Shoichi. You're scary. Well, he says he got here a bit late and the gates were already closed. So it's not entirely his fault, right, Kobayashi-kun? Kobayashi nods. Yes, I'm sorry I was so late. I had been living in a different town until recently and ended up getting lost. I'm so sorry to have inconvenienced you. In what is certainly an uncharacteristic moment for him, Shoichi examines Kobayashi as if he didn't know what to make of the situation. Guess I'm not the only one who gets thrown off his pace by this guy. Well, it's alright, I suppose. I was mostly joking anyway. It didn't look like you were! I have already been informed of your circumstances. If you want, I can give you a quick tour. Oh, no, it's alright. Michimiya-san already did. Shoichi looks at me dumbstruck. Wait, Michimiya-kun helped? A stranger? Of his own free will? Seriously? Don't look so surprised about it. Yeah, I did. Got a problem with that? No, not at all. It was just really unexpected. Have you already taken him to the faculty office? The faculty office? Why would I have to take him there? Shoichi stares at me in surprise. New students have to be assigned a teacher as their counselor when they join. You should know this. We did it 2 years ago. Oh, now that he mentioned it, I do remember something like that. Wait, is this why I'm always having to deal with Katsuragi-sensei? I honestly don't remember. Oh, I completely forgot. You don't have to look at me with such disappointed eyes. Hiya. It's not my fault, you know. You can't expect me to remember that. It was a whole 2 years ago. It's no problem. I mean, even if we don't get to finish everything today, he still helped a lot. Judging from Shoichi's expression, I guess even he must be having serious problems coming up with things to say in this situation. He does tend to take his responsibilities quite seriously, so he's probably trying to figure out how much he can still do before school closes. Well, I guess it should be fine. I'll explain to the teacher in charge of admissions that you couldn't show up today. I'm sure he'll understand. There's not much we can do since all the teachers have already gone home, so just hang tight until tomorrow, okay? Actually, Kobayashi-san, would you mind if I borrow Michimiya-kun? I need him to help me with something. Oh, it's fine. I was looking forward to seeing the volleyball courts. It's fine if you want to. I can take you to the courts. I was going to ask Michimiya. Shoichi stumbles on his speech when saying my name. For some reason, he tends to treat everyone very formally when around other students, even his own friends. Still, it sounds pretty weird to hear my last name come out of his mouth, and I'm pretty sure it must be even weirder for him to say it. Sorry, I'm not used to calling him by his last name. If it bothers you so much, why are you doing it? Shoichi starts rubbing the back of his neck. You're supposed to use polite speech when you're first introduced to someone, after all. Stop being so stuck up and call me by my name. You're trying too much to sound like an adult. It's creepy and annoying. Kobayashi starts laughing. Shoichi glares at me. I'm sorry. It's okay. He takes a minute to steady his breathing before he tries to resume talking. If you feel uncomfortable calling him that, then you don't need to force yourself just because I'm around. Actually, I really hate polite speech. If you'd prefer, you can just call me Jun. I know I'd like it better if you did. Shoichi ponders it for a second before nodding. Alright, in that case, you can just call me Shoichi. No, Jun-kun bows excitedly. This time he doesn't look like a clockwork piece. Well, since that's out of the way, you can look at the volleyball courts all you want. I'm the only one around right now. I was actually hoping to get Yuichi to help me with my training. Shoichi looks at me expectantly. I think of backing out, but when I turn around, I see Jun-kun beaming with excitement. Alright, fine, but let's not take too long, okay? I was intending to go home soon. Yeah, no problem. Jun-kun starts strolling around, pointing and gasping at everything in sight, even a ball cart. Who gets excited over a ball cart? Shoichi makes his way to the setter position. I see a pretty big pool of sweat beneath his feet. How long has he been practicing? Okay, Yuichi, get into position and throw me the ball. This is a drill I've already done a ton of times. Since Shoichi makes me help with this practice constantly, I've learned quite a lot about volleyball. Also, I seem to be pretty decent at it. Well, I tend to be pretty decent at most things anyway. I throw the ball right over Shuichi's head. When it's a little above the net, he jumps, tossing the ball into the air. I start running as soon as he jumps. I make sure of the ball's position and I jump towards it. I aim my spike just over the line. The ball hits the floor with a resounding wham right on top of the line. Nice spike! Whoa! A deafening voice assaults my ears. How can you jump so high? And the sound the ball made when it hit your hand was so loud. Doesn't your hand hurt after hitting it like that? And how did you aim it so close to the line? And... Oh, sorry. Hi, Now, how about we time out for a bit? Even Shoichi is taken aback by a sudden outburst of excitement. I've only met him today, and I'm already having a hard time dealing with it. Oh. And he studies in the same class as me. This is a pretty simple thing if you train your legs. Yuichi might not have to jump as often as a volleyball player, but he still has very strong legs from playing tennis. As for if it hurts his hand, I guess you could say it stings a bit, but I'm not sure if I can call it painful. Aiming is just a matter of practicing a lot too. Now, mind if we continue? Please do. Shoichi hands me another ball. Gah. That's awful. Gah. I can feel Kobayashi's eyes on me right now. He really is watching intently. I toss the ball to Shoichi again, and we repeat the drill. It goes over his head, and right when it's at the top of the net, he jumps and tosses the ball whilst in midair. Shoichi's tosses are incredibly accurate and easy to spike. He's the sort of setter that prioritizes easy to spike tosses. As such, he's very well liked by his team. He's already considered the best setter in our prefecture, maybe even in the whole country, though it'd be hard to tell for sure. Despite how good he is, the rest of his team is only average, so they've only managed to qualify for the national tournament once. He'd be really mad at me if I said it out loud, though. We keep doing this drill for a while. Every now and then, June stops us to ask questions. First he was only asking us things about volleyball, but... So, how long have you guys known each other? He's starting to get way too personal. Shoichi doesn't seem fazed by it in the slightest. Well, it probably doesn't take too long for a guy as sociable as Shoichi to adapt to this sort of thing. In fact, he's in a really good mood, constantly smiling and going with whatever June asks. Let me see, I guess it's been about 12 years, right, Yuichi? I guess it would be something like that, yeah. Wow, that's a long time to get to know each other. We met during our sports club's training camp. It turned out that we both went to the same club but had never met since we played different sports. If we hadn't shared a seat on the bus back then... It looks like he's reminiscing. Come to think of it, I haven't really paid much attention to how long we've known each other for. When I think about it, I barely do anything without Shoichi these days. When I think of it, it's almost like having a younger brother. I see what you mean, but why am I the younger brother? I'm older than you. You get to be the older brother when you learn to take care of yourself without inconveniencing other people. Must be nice being so close with someone. I don't have any friends. Not since I last switched schools anyway. Shoichi smiles. Just the atmosphere around him is already helping keep the shy and jumpy new guy in a better mood. He's just so good with people that others can't help but relax around him. You shouldn't worry too much about it. If you want, you can just hang out with us. You're in the same class as Yuichi anyway, right? Of course. Thank you very much. And just like that, it seems we've adopted a stray cat. No, it's not really that. See, it's very simple. It's very simple. These are the vibes that I'm getting. Shoichi is an extrovert. June here is an introvert. He hasn't made a new friend. He adopted an introvert. We spend almost an hour helping Shoichi practice. Hey Yuichi, would you mind waiting around for me? I'll just tell myself off and get changed. Sure. Well, I guess I'll get going now. It's already pretty late. Yuichi-san, Shoichi-san, thanks for the help. Jun-kun bows and takes his leave. Oh god, I am so nervous. So nervous. Shoichi, you're so easy to read. You're obviously annoyed that he added the san, aren't you? I did tell him to drop the honorifics, didn't I? You were acting very formal around him. Poor guy is probably confused. Well, I guess that's true. He's a pretty interesting boy, though. Yeah, tell me about it. A little bit too hyper for me. Really? I find it endearing. I sit down on one of the benches and wait around until Shoichi is done getting dressed. It got so late while we were goofing around that it's already gotten dark. By the way, Shoichi, how did you get to stay so late in the courts? I noticed that no one came around to close it. I got the keys from my coach. I thought they didn't allow students to stay at school after class. Of course they do. All you have to do is ask nicely and sign a term of responsibility. Sorry, I'm not cut out for that sort of thing. What? Not cut out for being a normal person? Anyway, did you have fun on your first day? Meh. It's the same as every year, really. Well, I think you'd be a little more excited after practice. You had a great practice match today, and you didn't even care about it. I wouldn't say that I didn't care, it's just, I don't even know. It didn't give me the usual thrill. Shoichi cuts in front of me, forcing me to stop. When I start asking him what he's doing, he flicks me in my forehead. You've been like that for the past 3 years already. It needs to stop. It's not healthy. I rubbed at the spot he flicked me. Damn, that stung. Been like what? Can you at least try to make sense? How dense can you be? It's obvious for me since I've been watching you play since we were kids. You have something on your mind, don't you? What is it? I don't know. If there's anything going on with me, it's certainly not intentional. You think I like making almost no progress in practice? So you've noticed your slow development. Of course I noticed. How dumb would I have to be in order to not, too? It's so frustrating. I see players that were clearly weaker than me 2 or 3 years ago suddenly beat me with ease. And that, of course, only makes me even more anxious. Shoichi scratches his head in confusion. I guess I know what you mean. Tennis is a pretty lonely sport. You've only got yourself to rely on. That's why I like volleyball. Your teammates are always there to cover for you and help you along if you're having difficulty. The way I see it, I could be playing my best and clearly be the best player and yet still lose because my team dragged me down. It's what's been happening to you. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. What did you say? Hang on, the sprite changed. Nothing! We walk along in silence for a few minutes. I'm usually pretty bad with words. At times like this, I usually rely on Shoichi to keep the conversation going. If he goes quiet too... Sorry. Huh? What for? I know you're uncomfortable talking about this. I shouldn't have said anything. It's fine. To be honest... Hang on, let me Katsuragi-sensei was also saying the same thing. She says I stopped trying to excel. She's not entirely wrong either. What the ever-loving... Try tightening all this. Hang on. Here we go. She says stop trying to excel. She's not entirely wrong either. I'll admit, I used to try a lot harder before, both in tennis and in school. I guess I just lost my drive. Wow. You shouldn't worry about it too much. Even if you're like this now, you're aware of your faults and are working to change. I'm sure things will work out. Always the optimist, huh? I try. Shoichi wraps his arm around my neck and pulls me closer, petting my head. I let him have his fun for a while. I guess I'm in a good mood. He does take the concept of skinship a little too far sometimes, though. Before I notice it, we're almost at my house. Damn. Damn, it was so pleasant that I completely zoned out. You can let go of me now. Oh, feeling self-conscious? No, I just think I've already let you have enough fun. We're even now. I think you were having way more fun than I was. Don't make me hit you. Sure thing. He pulls away from me. By the way, I know I sound like a broken record, but this is our last year of high school. It'd be a shame if we spent it freaking out about the future. Let's just take things one step at a time, okay? Sure. I guess I should consult with a few coaches about a new training program. Oh, that sounds like a good idea. Change of routine might actually help you with that psychological block of yours. Wow. Wow. Why don't you ask one of your sponsors to get you a personal coach? Nah, I don't want them to think they've got too much power over me. They already send you equipment and help pay for your travel expenses. Pretty safe to say they've got a lot of power over you, and they know it. Oh, shut up. Shoichi grins. Well, not that it matters anyway. I'm sure there are lots of professional coaches in Japan that would like to work with you. Plus, almost all players in the country would jump at the opportunity of practicing with you. Oh, now that he mentioned it, I'm pretty sure I heard something about an exchange program. Oh, that's right. Oh no! Are you good? Are you good? Actually, I kind of just remembered. But there are a few tennis clubs out of our prefecture holding an exchange program. The minimum requirement is being ranked 12 or higher on the Kanto Junior ranking. Does that mean Tanabe would be participating too? Takagi Tanabe is the current #1 player in the U18 circuit. I've known him since I first played against him in the U13 Kanto tournament. We've already faced each other over 20 times and I've never beaten him. Not even once. I think so. His club is the one organizing it all. That's great then. Oh, why don't you go? What's your ranking in Kanto right now? 3, 4, 2. And I don't know if I should. I mean, I definitely get a good amount of practice, but I'm afraid I might psych myself out if I meet him there. You're refusing the opportunity of practicing against the best player in the country. You? This is more serious than I thought. Your heart's turned to glass. Shut up. I'm not afraid of it or anything. Honestly, I might actually be scared. I have avoided playing Keisuke all this time for no reason other than him reminding me of Takagi. Maybe I really do have a block. Shoichi examines me with a concerned look. Well, you don't have to worry about it too much. Whether you decide to go or not, you'll still have good practice partners over here. You can always use Urushihara as your Tanabe proxy. Keikun's skills aren't nearly as refined as Takagi's. Ouch. Poor Urushihara. Well, we're here. Sorry I can't stay for a while. I have some stuff I need to work on right away. Tell Aki-kun and your mom I said hi. Sure. Message me if you need anything. Of course. Shoichi waves at me without turning back and keeps walking away. It's a good thing he lives so close, but it tends to get annoying when he pops in without a warning. Mom, Aki, I'm home. Mom's shoes aren't here. Maybe she's out? I hear footsteps coming from the stairs. My little brother, Akiyoshi, walks down. Oh, Aki, you're home already, huh? What do you mean, already? It's pretty late. By the way, Mom said she'd be late again, so you'll have to cook. Straight to the point, huh? Yeah, you're right. I'll get right to it. Sorry you had to wait for me. Yeah, I think we've said way worse. Much worse. It's fine. I figured you'd be staying late for practice anyway. Well, it wasn't because of practice, but if he's okay with it, I won't complain. What do you want me to cook for you? Just some rice would be fine. I don't really care. You're telling me you went to practice today, worked up a sweat, and all you want to eat is rice? You need to eat properly if you want to get stronger. Gah, you're starting to sound like Mom. Hey, I'm telling you this as an athlete to an aspiring athlete. You need to watch what you eat. What are you going to do if you go to the 3rd set and you can't even run anymore? I'm 12. We don't play 3-set matches yet. You will someday. Might as well start working up your stamina right now. Alright. Just make me whatever you want. Time goes by pretty fast when I'm cooking and chatting with Aki. He seems to really want to talk, seeing how I could barely get a word in. It was all about tennis, too. By the time I finished cooking, he was still talking like there was no tomorrow. It's hard getting him to shut up once he gets started. Was I this passionate about it when I was his age? Oh wow, it's already 10:30 p.m. I told Aki I'd go to sleep just a little while after him, and he's already been gone for over an hour. Blasted video games, always distracting me. You hear the sound of the door opening. I see my mom coming in. Once she sees me, she looks surprised. Oh, Yuichi, you're still awake. Did you make dinner for Akiyoshi and you? Is everything okay? Everything's fine, Mom. You don't have to freak out every time you come home late. Aki's already gone to bed. I'm sorry, sweetie. You know I worry about you too. Oh, and by the way, I got a call from one of your teachers today. What? He said you forgot a racket at the locker room. Honestly, you should be more careful. You know those have been custom made for you. Sorry. Well, for a second there I thought she had spoken to Katsuragi-sensei. No, wait. There's something wrong with what she just said. That's weird. I always check my bags before leaving, and I had everything with me. I pick up my tennis bag near the door and check it over again. Yep, everything's here. Who's the teacher that called you? I think his name was Mikado? Hold on. I know I wrote it down somewhere. Lies! Mikado Amanuma? Yes, that's it. That's our coach. He hasn't shown up for practice for the past 3 weeks. I think it's safe to say he doesn't have one of my rackets. He probably just wants me to run some sort of errand for him. He's still your teacher. You can't just assume he's lying. You don't know him as well as I do. Yeah, sure, I'll talk to him tomorrow then. Assuming he ever shows up. Good night, Mom. Night, sweetie. Once in my bedroom, I decided to check my phone. Oh, it looks like Sai sent me a message. Coach called Mom today. Guess I forgot something at the gym. Wait, did he even show up today? Was he with you or something? I knew it. This is another one of his schemes, isn't it? Last time he told us he was taking us to watch a professional tournament in Tokyo. Instead, he took us to the club he used to work for and forced us to work as assistant coaches for the weekend. Said it would expand our horizons if we learned how it was dealing with a player. Ha! I knew it. He called me too. Called. Calm on. Do you seriously believe that guy? Wait, you too? Weird. Where'd my damn cursor go? Do you think he's up to something again? 100%. Yeah, checks out. When imposter is sus. Okay, I'll deal with him tomorrow. Gonna sleep for now. Night. Night. Well, as long as Sai is dealing with him, there's no need for me to go. Oh, wow. That's totally not going to cause issues. Let's just save real quick in case the stream crashes. The classroom is excessively noisy first thing in the morning. It's already been a few minutes since the bell rang and our teacher hasn't shown up yet. I wonder if something's come up. Good morning, students. I'm sorry for the delay. Now, if everyone could please return to their seats. Speak of the devil. And before I forget, there's someone you all need to meet. The stag looks out the still open door at someone I can't see. Come here, introduce yourself. That's right, Jun-kun was transferring to my class today, wasn't he? The tiger walks into the room, slowly making his way to the front of the class. His eyes are focusing everywhere but on the other people in the room. Looks like he's totally panicking. I'm Jun Kobayashi. It's a pleasure to meet you all. He makes a robotic bow and starts walking towards a free chair. Wait, Kobayashi, you have to write your name on the board so others can know how to spell the kanji. Yes, just 1 second. Several people laugh at his nervousness. I myself think it's a bit endearing. He walks back to the board, writing down his name in big, shaky letters. It's a pleasure to meet you all. He bows once again. He looks to be on the edge of a panic attack. Very well, Kobayashi. You need an empty seat. Let's see. There's one next to Michimiya. Well, why don't you go there? Yes, Yuichi-san. Hi. He waves enthusiastically at me. Whoa. Everyone's eyes are focused on me. Can't he be a little more careful? Good morning, Yuichi-san. And just like that, people are already whispering about it. Ayako leans forward, tapping me on the back to get my attention. You know him, Yuichi-kun? I met him yesterday after I met with Katsuragi-sensei. I gave him a tour of the school. Oh my, that's pretty nice of you. I would have done it if I knew he was still around. Ayako, what's he saying? And just like that, a telephone line has already been formed to discuss how I came to meet Jun-kun. Wait a second, why am I the one getting all the attention here? He's the transfer student! You're really popular, aren't you? Not really. They're just incredibly curious people. I wish I had that many friends. I wouldn't really call them friends, more like friendly acquaintances. Isn't that the same thing? I shrug. I expect to be bored by the classes, but dear God, do they have to be that boring? Most of the students are already getting packed and heading home. Club activities haven't started yet, so most of the students have nothing to do after class. Only competitive clubs like minor Shoichis have been given permission to start early. I'm going to laze around on top of my desk for a while longer. Some other students seem to be doing the same and are sticking around in class to talk to their friends. Must be nice. My friends are all super enthusiastic about their respective clubs, so I'm sure they must all be headed there already. I hear the sound of someone clearing their throat, and when I look up from my desk, I see a tiger standing there, looking down at me. Excuse me, Yuichi-san, would you mind showing me to the faculty office? I don't know how to get there. Why me? Shouldn't you ask one of our teachers? Well, the thing is, he already left. I look at the teacher's desk and confirm that his words are actually true. Isn't the teacher supposed to stick around for a few minutes in case their students have any questions? What's up with the school and all their lazy teachers? You're the only person here that I know, so I kind of figured it'd be better if I asked you first. Well, I would, but I have the tennis club to get to. Remember how I told you I was on the tennis club? Yes! The perfect excuse! Then how come you've been sitting around for the past 5 minutes without going anywhere? He's got me there! Well, either way, I should really get going to the tennis club. Oh, I know. How about you take me to your practice session so I can watch? You promised me you would yesterday. Don't you have to go to the faculty office? I'll need to get my class itinerary. I can do that whenever. Boy, you really need to get... Boy! You really need to get your priorities straight. Well, I guess Saya wouldn't mind. She likes to show the club off to any interesting spectators. And Coach is a weirdo, so I doubt he'd mind. If he's even present at all. Have I agreed to this already? I guess I can. I can't promise I'll be allowed to bring you in. We can still try. It's not like our practices are secret after all. Kobayashi looks incredibly pleased at the news. I swear he's radiating satisfaction. What a weird kid. Once we arrive, I have Jun-kun wait outside the building while I get dressed. I need to get Sai's permission before I can allow him to come inside. A visitor? That's kind of rare for you to be asking me this. Is that a no? Of course not. I'm fine with it if you want to bring someone to watch. Oh, shit. Thanks for the follow. Thanks for the follow. Welcome. Welcome. Having someone watch you with interest is always a great way to get yourself pumped up. Yeah, hi, That's exactly the kind of answer I'd expect coming from her. I'm sure he's not going to be lacking on the interest front. At least. She nods, smiling. So tell me, what's your real reason for bringing him along? You wouldn't just invite your other classmates. You saw through me, huh? To be honest, I felt a bit bad for him since he doesn't know anyone else in the school. So I just thought, why not, and brought him along. And that's pretty kind of you, Yuichi. But we don't have any practice matches scheduled for today. Don't you think he'd be bored of watching us practice our shots? That shouldn't be a problem, Saya-tan. Suddenly, a huge mountain of scales towers behind Saya. Ah! Coach! Montgomery Gator from Five Nights at Freddy's Security Breach, is that you? Don't just sneak behind me. Sorry. I couldn't keep myself from overhearing what you guys were talking about. I'm going to call bullshit on that. There's been a change of plans. We're going to have a few matches today. Wait. What about our training menu for the day? Don't worry so much about that. Saya glares at him. A look that on more than one occasion left me visualizing the very image of death itself. And it has no effect on the crocodile. You left me alone for a whole month without even helping make a balanced training regime, and now you're going to mess it up? If you keep fretting over everything when you're this young, you're going to get wrinkly before you're 30. I'm half expecting her to jump on his throat at any second now. Meanwhile, he merely laughs it off as if it were a big joke. You're almost hitting 40. Could you please start acting your own age? And who do you propose we play against? I'm okay with anything other than Keikun. Keisuke would cry if he heard you say that. Yeah, I've been getting that a lot lately. Well, not to worry. I've already made arrangements to get us some new players to practice with. Did you invite players from another club? Coach scratches his chin with a cheeky smile on his face. Well, let's go with that. Wait here while I go call them over. Could it be? You know what's going on here, Saya-chan? I remember him telling me that he was coming over to visit today, but I didn't think that meant... Who's he? Can't you just drop the pronoun game and tell me who you're talking about? Why don't you take a guess? The sound of a familiar voice immediately catches my attention. Before I can even react, I feel a tap on my back and two figures come into view. Kaito-kun! Saya rushes over to the tiger, locking him in a tight hug. Morisaki-senpai? The tiger's grin widens. Hey there, Saya-chan. Yuichi-kun. I see you've grown taller. This goofy-looking tiger was our club's captain back when I was a freshman. We were all surprised when he decided to go to a college in America at the same time as he debuted as a pro. From what I researched, the college he went to has a big sports program that scouts players from all over the world. They definitely are one of the best environments a tennis player could hope for. During his time as an active player in the junior ranks, Morisaki-senpai was ranked number 3 in the country. The links right next to him, though, I don't know him. Oh, and by the way, this guy here is a friend of mine from college. He's from a bit before my time, but he's an excellent player. The lynx smiles and offers me his hand. Ken Masasuke, pleasure to meet you. Yeah, it's a pleasure to meet you too. This guy's really intimidating. Oi, Morisaki. The crocodile walks back to the courts, grinding his teeth. Jeez, don't wander around without permission. I went to the van to pick you guys up, and there wasn't anyone there. Morisaki-senpai scratched the back of his head, laughing nervously. Sorry. The girls said it was too hot inside and left, so Kenma and I decided to leave too. I told you we'd have stayed put, idiot. Hey, Kenma, back me up a little here. Coach sighs. Jeez, you always were a troublemaker. Thank you, Amanuma-san. That wasn't a compliment. Oh yeah, I remember this little dynamic fairly well. Morisaki-senpai carefree attitude would always cause Coach a ton of problems. But come on, it's just so nostalgic being back here. How could you expect me to not have a look around? Alright, fine. I'll let this one slide, but you ruined my dramatic entrance. In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are handled by I can't remember it. By an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories. Dun dun. And by the way, where do the girls go? Oh, that's right. The tiger immediately lifts a finger up in the air as if he had a grand epiphany. I have no idea. Coach conks him on the head. Then what was that dramatic pause for? Say so from the beginning, idiot. Why are you two ganging up on me? And Kenma, you knew from the very beginning too. You're more of a wacky trio than Shoichi Keikun and I. Although I guess this is the kind of thing I'd expect from Morisaki-senpai. Coach sighs again, taking a deep breath of air to recompose himself. Where was I? Oh, right. I've decided to reach out to some of our more successful alumni. Our school has always had a pretty strong tennis program after all, so many of our former students became pros. Since they are all pretty new to the professional scene, I figured they could spare some of their time. Aren't I brilliant? Actually, we were coming to Saitama anyway for the Tozansha Challenger tournament. We merely rescheduled our stay to come 5 days in advance due to the promise of free lodging and food. In other words, they took pity on us. What do you think, huh? Pretty neat, isn't it? Isn't it? Well, I do have to admit that I didn't expect this. In all this time, I thought you were just lazing around at home. Coach's shoulders sag. You could try having some more faith in me, you know. When can we start the matches? Don't just ignore my... forget it. He clears his throat one more time, crossing his arms to appear more serious than he really is. The matches can start once everyone is ready. I've also arranged for 2 female players to come over to practice with you and Kushina, Saya-chan. You guys will be playing consecutive 1-set matches. You better be prepared, because we'll be practicing all the way through the school's closing times. You'll probably be playing 20 sets a day. 20 sets? That's impossible. With the average duration of a set, there's no way we could cram that much in just a few hours. I know. Saya-tan. Coach smiles, his toothy grin sending shivers down my spine. Oh, don't worry. Your sets won't last long at all. What's that supposed to... Morisaki-senpai gives me a slap on the back, nearly knocking me face first into the ground. Come on, Yuichi-kun. It'll be fun. Can't breathe. Oh, God. I'm going to cough my lungs out. It takes us a few minutes to track the female players down, but eventually all the preparations are made. I took the opportunity to go outside and give Kobayashi the all-clear to come in. Although some curious onlookers tried to stop their own practice to watch, Coach made sure to get them all back on track. Even then, people keep shooting glances at us every now and then. Yuichi-kun, why don't you serve first? Show me how much you've matured the past 2 years. Yes, Captain! In the end, Morisaki-senpai insisted on having me be his first opponent. On another court, Kei-kun is about to start his match against the Lynx, Sasuke-san. Sasuke-san. I take a couple deep breaths, mentally preparing myself for this. I have to admit, I'm excited at the idea of playing against Morisaki-senpai again after so many years. I can't wait to see how much he's changed since going pro. Once the ball is in play, focus only on it and on my opponent. I toss the ball high into the air and bring down my racket to meet it, putting as much power into it as I can. The feeling of the ball leaving the racket was great. This might just be one of my best serves in a while. While I fully expect to get an ace of it, Morisaki-senpai quickly reaches the ball before I can leave the court. He doesn't waste time being timid and immediately goes on the offensive, sending a powerful return to attack my serve. The ball bounces right on the back line, forcing me to move back a few steps. The resulting motion leaves my posture out of whack, making my shot slow. Before I notice it, Morisaki-senpai dashes towards the net. No, that's not quite right. He was already on the net before I even hit the ball back. How did he get there so fast? He volleys the ball with force. I'm not even halfway through the court when the ball hits the ground and rolls away. 15 love. Whew! That was a pretty wild serve. Did you really have to say the wild part in English? Even though I hit the ball with everything I had, he easily returned it to the worst possible spot. Not only that, he reached the net before I even noticed he had moved. His movement is completely different from 3 years ago, and the quality of his shots has improved a considerable amount. This might have just been luck, but... Yo, Yoichi. You there? Yes, sorry. Crap, I was spacing out and didn't hear him call me. Playing resumes on my court. This time I go for a slice that quickly escapes to the sides of the court. As if anticipating it, Morisaki-senpai does a quick sideways jump and meets the ball right in the center of his racket. His return paints the line on the opposite side of the court. How am I supposed to use my serve advantage when he's already countering my serve? I make a mad dash for the ball, barely managing to tap it. When did shots become so heavy? I'm having a hard time just getting the ball to go over the net. If he keeps going like this, I'm bound to end up making a mistake. Wait, he already hit the net again? When did he... His senpai taps the ball back lightly, drop volley. In the end, I never had a chance to reach the ball before it bounced twice. 30 love. I can't accept it. I can't do anything against him on my serve game? That's ridiculous. I try putting as much topspin as I can on my next serve. As soon as the ball rises, it should spin out of control, making it shoot up higher than normal. If he can't adapt to swing, he'll miss the perfect point of impact. Yet even if he sees it coming, he'll have to move further back, giving me an opportunity to attack. At least that's what should happen. As if he realizes what I'm doing, Senpai immediately dashes to the point where the ball bounces on the court, hitting it right as it rises from the ground, before it has a chance to bounce properly. A rising shot is such a difficult shot to make. Even Kei-kun, the most skillful player on the club, can't hit those properly. Yet this guy, Senpai, hits it easily, sending the ball back to me. Still, this wasn't a perfect return by any means. This ball lacks power when compared to his regular ground strokes. The ball hits the ground in a little short of the baseline. I can reach it. I try hitting a straight shot with as much power as I can. What I lack in control, I can make up with pure firepower. Even if I can't put it in a difficult position, as long as I can stop him from coming to the net, I have a chance. Senpai has always been weak in his baseline game, even more so than the regular serve and volley player. As long as I can keep him anchored to the baseline, I should have a chance. Senpai reaches my ball easily and has ample time to prepare. He hits it with a full swing, sending it to the other side of the court. The ball is going unbelievably fast, I can barely keep up with it. Somehow, I manage to reach it. The very tip of my racket makes contact, and the racket is blown out of my grip. So much power! Senpai has always had a decent bit of upper body strength, but nothing like this. This is seriously bad. I can't even think of ways to deal with it. Volley, power, speed, control, technique. He far outclasses me in every single one of those. And I haven't even seen him in a serve game. I can't accept being beaten like this. Hey, Michimiya-kun, are you ready yet? It's time to resume play. Crap, I'm spacing out again. Keep it together. Feeling defeated right at the beginning of the game doesn't help. Just take deep breaths. That's it. Calm down. He's gotten me so worked up this quickly. I prepare another serve. Slice, topspin, flat. He received every single one of my best serves without any trouble. Since there isn't anything that stands out as the best option, I'll just go with my personal best. Flat. I hit the ball with everything I have. This is without a doubt the fastest serve I could pull off. The ball must be going at least 190 kilometers an hour. There's no way he can reach it easily. Senpai manages to send the ball back. But I can tell from his stance that shot can't possibly have as much power as the last one. He didn't have time to make a good swing. Against his weakened shot that is going towards my forehand, I immediately prepare to counter it. I concentrate every ounce of my strength on sending the ball right on top of the line, on the side of the court opposite to where Senpai is right now. By all means, this should be the best option. He shouldn't reach. And yet, a little voice in the back of my head tells me to prepare. Not only is he going to reach it, but he's going to send a strong ball right back at me. Left or right. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Bring it! I catch myself screaming from the top of my lungs. Before I even realize it, I got this worked up. I don't care if I look lame, I just don't want to lose. No matter what happens, I absolutely don't want to lose. Somehow he managed to reach my best shot with absolute ease. It's going to be like this, then I have to make sure he can't go towards the net. If he reaches the net, it's game over. That's what my instincts are telling me right now. I have to exert myself to reach the ball. I jump towards it, nearly losing my footing as I do so, but I manage to hit the ball back with some semblance of power. As long as I make it strong enough, he shouldn't have an opportunity to dash towards the net. Senpai reaches it. I immediately start running towards the center of the court so as to reach the ball regardless of his shooting it left or right. He tapped it? Crap, a drop shot. A perfect shot to take advantage of my momentary loss of focus. His stance didn't give away what he was doing until the ball left the racket. For a fraction of a second, I'm rooted to this spot. Damn it, legs, move! I direct all of my energy to my legs and make a run for it. Make a mad run for it. Oh no! I jump towards the ball, hitting the ground with my chest. Shit, this hurts like hell. Okay, have a good night. Let me just mentally prepare for quick time events. I am not good at quick time events. Still, I managed to miraculously tap the ball right before it hits the ground. The ball goes up just enough to go over the net. I relax for only just a second. Then a towering orange figure eclipses my vision. He knew all along I'd reach it, so he made his way to the net, and so he made his way to the net. I'm left defenseless as he hits the ball right over my head to take the point. There you go, game won by me. 1 love. He flashes me a goofy smile. That would be smart. That would be smart. I feel anger surging inside. Most of it is directed at me. It takes every ounce of self-restraint I have not to lash out. Somehow, I'm dimly aware that I'm baring my fangs. Senpai's noticed the look on my face. Of course he does. How wouldn't he? He shifts around in his spot and glares back at me with such intensity that I feel like I'm being shot dead. He has a very smug smile on his face, as if he's enjoying seeing me like this. It's enough to make me freeze on the spot. Oh, I like the look on your face, Shoichi-kun. Okay then, I'll play seriously now. Let's see if you can entertain me for a little bit. I'm completely dominated during his serve games. Can't even properly return the balls at first, and he scores many aces off of it. Near the end of the match, I realized that I didn't even get a single point during the whole thing. Yay! 6 love. I win. Better luck next time, Michimiya-kun. Bitch. Senpai walks away, laughing. I clench my fists in pure frustration. My claws threaten to puncture the palms of my hands. It didn't take him 10 minutes to completely dispose of me as if I were garbage. This is so frustrating. Michimiya-san. Keisuke taps me on the shoulder. Looks like you didn't fare any better than I did. Yeah, did you even manage to score a single point? No, not once. It's so frustrating. Keikun nods. I wonder what their rank is in the World League. If I find out that they're in the 700s or something like that, I'll lose it. I know what you mean. Don't worry, last I checked, Morisaki's senpai was number 421. Well, that makes me feel a little better. At least. Let's try to win at least one set by the end of the game. Right. Keikun lifts his hand up high and we share a high five. Alright. I'm feeling pumped again. Jun-kun is fidgeting uncomfortably in a nearby corner. That's true, he's been watching me this whole time. Did I scare him? Ugh, I really need to get a grip. Won't do me any good if I'm so angry that I can't think straight. So, are you ready? I turn around to see Sasuke-san standing behind me, holding his racket in hand. His clothes barely have any sweat on them. It's as if the set just now barely even winded him. Which, considering how short it was, it probably didn't. I didn't even need to take breaks during the whole thing. The lynx smiles, and by that I mean the corners of his mouth barely curve a little bit upwards. I know. I saw. It's awful because, like, I don't know if it's true, but I could be wrong, but I think Home Somewhere Else is also updating that day. I saw a bit of your match. You're an interesting player. I didn't think a high schooler was capable of making Morisaki play seriously. This might be a decent learning experience. With no other words, he began walking towards one of the empty courts. It took me a few seconds to react and follow behind him. Once we both took our positions, Sasuke-san grabbed a couple balls and waved at me. I'll take service if you don't mind. Since I already started with the serve last match, I'm sure you'll be okay with it, right? This guy's a little pushy, isn't he? But I guess I'll let this one pass. After the last match, I think I prefer having him take the first serve. I'm afraid of thinking about the psychological damage that getting broken on the first game would cause. It might be better to serve second so as to lower my expectations on the match. Or maybe I'm being too timid? No, this is fine. I should take the chance to see how he plays. Kenma-san picks up a ball in his pocket and starts bouncing it on the court. After a few bounces, he gripped the ball tightly in his hand and focused on me. Something about the way he looked at me made me uncomfortable. It was like he was just analyzing me, just looking for a weakness. He makes me feel uneasy. He tosses the ball high into the air and slammed his racket against it. It's fast. Really fast. Not on the same level as Morisaki-senpai, but it might just be faster than mine. I reached the ball with a little difficulty and hit it back at him. Unfortunately, my return was shallow and the lynx wasted no time in attacking it. 15 love. You'll have to do better than that if you want to take a point from me. He said that with a smile on his face. Ugh, this guy pisses me off. By the end of the 20th set, I couldn't even keep myself standing. It took us over 3 hours to get it all done, with only a few minimal breaks here and there. And even then, when you consider how many sets it was, it should have definitely taken much longer. That's how overwhelmed we were. As soon as the last point was scored, I dropped to the floor, unable to keep myself standing. Even scoring a single point was hard. The best I could do was get 2 games against Morisaki-senpai. The girls, on the other hand, did a lot better than us. Sai even managed to take a set from one of her opponents. Kobayashi stood over me, looking at me with worry. Are you alright? Maybe I should go get the nurse. I'm fine. The only thing broken right now is my pride. I forced myself to stand up, heaving heavily from exertion. It's been a while since I've been thoroughly beaten like that. It's incredibly frustrating, but it also feels refreshing somehow. I can't even remember when I last felt so completely useless. Suddenly there was a wall ahead of me whose limits I couldn't even see. Instead of feeling discouraged, I felt a sudden burst of excitement. Well, I guess you had fun then, all things considered. Kinda made me wish I could play tennis too. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed watching us. I'm still awed by the distance Morisaki-senpai managed to put between us in these 2 years. Just how did he manage to get so much better? How are you feeling, Michi-miya-kun? Mostly frustrated, but, well, these kinds of things are good too. Once in a while. You've changed a lot, you know. I guess I did change a little. Things are a lot tougher in America than I thought they'd be. I was pretty confident in myself when I first got there, but I was quickly mowed down by them. To be honest, there are currently 12 guys in our tennis program, and I'm the weakest of them all. That's a depressing thought. Still, I'm the one that's surprised. I was pretty disappointed when we played our first set, you know. Sorry. Guess I didn't quite live up to your expectations. Senpai gasped and started frantically waving his arms in denial. No, that's not what I meant. Well, it's true that I was expecting you to be much better, but to be honest, it's scary how much you've improved over the day. You've got used to my speed in a flash. By the end of the last set, I was actually struggling to score. Really? Didn't feel like you were struggling at all. Well, I guess we'll have to see how things go over the week. Morisaki-senpai was surprised, as if he had finally realized he hadn't said a word about it yet. I'm glad we agreed to Mikado-san's idea. It's been so long since I've been to Japan. I'm still a bit jet-lagged from the trip. Can you imagine how tough it'd be if I played in the tournament feeling like this? How do you think you'll fare in the competition? I'm not too sure. The prize is pretty big and it's worth quite a lot of points, so I'm sure it's attracted quite a lot of the higher ranked folks. And I still need to take part in the qualifiers after all. Kaito, hurry up already. The van is already here to pick us up. Sasuke's son shouts from the entrance. Sorry to cut this short, Yuichi. I'll see you tomorrow. See ya. I wave the two goodbyes, they leave our building. You guys look like you get along pretty well. I nod. Morisaki-senpai used to be the club's captain when I first joined this school. That explains it. By the way, Kobayashi. Just June is okay. It feels a bit pointless to be so formal since we're going to be seeing each other every day. Well, okay. If I can have an excuse to drop all the stiff deference, then I have no reason not to. Was it fun? I feel like it was worth coming? Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun. The white hair felt like he was an amazing player, even though half the time I had no idea what he was doing. His name is Keisuke. You're right about him being an awesome player. Not very physically imposing, but he's very skillful and fast. That's why I hate playing against him. He just makes me run all over the place and it's a chore. We're gonna leave off here tonight. Ah! Ah! Stay safe, have a good night. Yeah, I'm good. And I'll see you all tomorrow.